Sometimes as a pastor, I'd prefer to go have a beer with somebody who doesn't, who's not a Christian, because so much of our Christian culture has become so judgmental and elevates pastors as these holy men, and I can't actually be be myself. I gotta be this thing for people, otherwise they get uncomfortable.
So as a matter of fact, even here in the house I'm living in currently, one of my roommates is a strong believer, somewhat recent believer, and it's his story to tell, so I'm not going to go into further detail on that, but he's one of my closest friends, and that informs and leads to really, really interesting discussions where we're very good at remaining civil, we're very good at hearing out the other person, but we absolutely, on some of the most important issues you could ever think of, have diametrically opposed views. And I think that's healthy. I don't think it's good to be surrounded by everyone who believes in the same thing as you all the time, because you're not challenging yourself. You're not exposing yourself to other thoughts that may never have occurred to you. And I would say that's the most important part about this big question of, is there a God or not? What do I believe? If that's one of the most important questions humanity has ever asked itself, I would say it's just as important for us to kind of explore different viewpoints that we wouldn't normally explore on our own. And the best way to do that is in conversation with other people who don't agree with you. Life would be boring without people who don't agree with me.
I need someone who loves Jesus like I love Jesus to be in my inner circle. Otherwise, that friendship is actually a detriment to me. But if someone is in my life, like I have so many coworkers, I have so many people I love dearly who don't agree with me, but those people are at they have different ability to influence my actions and my decisions. And so the people who are influential on me, I believe, need to be people who have the same set of values. They don't have to manifest in the same way. Like someone can be a Christian and think differently about something controversial like immigration or whatever. But I can't have someone who doesn't even have the same foundation as me in my inner circle, if that makes sense. So you can have people that are Christians or not Christians in your friend circle, but you have to be able to discern what will be helpful to you. That's my thought.
Now that I'm not a Christian, though, I don't want to have people around me who all think the same thing. I think you grow as a person by being around as many different viewpoints as you can. So I prefer to have people from all walks of life, all sorts of religious and political affiliation, because I think it challenges you to question your own beliefs. It makes you process your own beliefs and figure out why you believe what you do. It brings up the possibility that you might be wrong, and that's going to force you to think about things different. And I also think it's really important too, for myself, not no longer being a Christian, it's very important for me to still have Christian friends, because it'd be very, very easy to just slide into the other side of the thing where you're constantly taking pot shots at Christians and starting to have a negative attitude by them. It's so important for me to still have friends that are Christian to make me understand, oh yeah, these are really good people. We just have disagreements. Because I never want to get into that mindset where I feel that I'm completely right and, oh, these people over here are completely wrong. I do think they're wrong about certain things, but as human beings, they're still fellow human beings, and we just share different beliefs. And so the more variety I can have in my life in terms of opinions, the better off I feel that I am the healthier of an overall worldview that I tend to have. And I would encourage everybody to do that. I think everybody needs to have a very broad group of friends. I think it's really dangerous to put yourself in a bubble, regardless of where you are, and just become an echo chamber where you're not having your ideas challenged, because then you never find out that you're wrong.
When it comes to like friendships and the people that I choose to interact with on a daily basis or enjoy spending time with, I don't think that they do share my beliefs or that they need to share my beliefs. God calls us to go out into the world and go speak to people that aren't like us. So there's nothing wrong with having this core group of people that we associate with and that we, iron sharpens iron and we go in the fire together. But there's a lot of value in going out into people who aren't like us and don't believe like us and spend time with them and fellowship with them and share our stories and listen to their stories and meet them where they are and just kind of really have this relationship that is dynamic. I don't prefer to have friends one way or the other. I just prefer to love people around me.
Do I surround myself with less Christians because of my upbringing? Probably. Am I still a little bit scared of the general Christian in the Midwest? A little bit. But, I have friends that are Christian that are amazing people. And I know that, in my family, they're Christian and I love them and I don't see eye to eye with them. Yeah, it's nice to have maybe a couple more pagan or new agey friends too, just because it's something that you can relate to and you can talk about. But I'm not here to segregate myself into people's beliefs. I'm here to live life and meet amazing people, and whatever they believe, they believe.
I experience friendship in people that don't hold the same religious beliefs because they do exhibit safety and they exhibit love, and I don't feel like I have to hide. And so sometimes as a pastor, I'd prefer to go have a beer with somebody who doesn't, who's not a Christian, because so much of our Christian culture has become so judgmental and elevates pastors as these holy men, and I can't actually be be myself. I got to be this thing for people, otherwise they get uncomfortable. So I think if Christians were honest, they would probably say that it's more about, we'd rather just be with somebody that we feel loved by and that we don't feel judged by. And so hopefully those are Christians, but my experience has been it's hit or miss. And the cool part is when I do experience that love and safe place with people that don't agree with me or that are not Christians, I get to experience the God in them. I get to experience the love in them that was given to them by God. And in that sense, that's really what I'm looking for. I don't need people to talk like me or think like me. I really long for friends that are just gonna let me be me, whether that looks Christian in the moment or not.